was on the GB boat for the Clipper 2015-16 race, and I did the Atlantic crossing, the opening leg from London to Rio, which was one of the most amazing experiences of my life. During that time on the boat, I realised that there were some things I could pass on to other people to help them strengthen their bodies for such a difficult task ahead. So here's a collection of exercises that I think will be beneficial to you. Elastic bands are one of my favourite tools to use to warm up the shoulders and the upper body. With the front stretch, wrap the elastic around your hands one time, hold your hands out in front of your chest about 12 inches apart, and then stretch the elastic using straight arms, pushing your chest forward and pinching your shoulder blades together. This is an excellent exercise to warm up your shoulders and your upper back. The up and over is an excellent stretch for the shoulder muscles. Wrap the elastic around your hands one time, let your arms hang by your sides, and then lift the elastic up over your head until you can feel a stretch in the shoulder muscles, and it goes all the way down to your backside and then back over again. So it's a full shoulder exercise. The double wrap may not seem like it's doing a great deal, but it's working a very important muscle in the back of your shoulder which stabilizes the shoulder girdle. Double wrap the elastic around your hands to make the space between your hands a bit shorter, about 6 inches apart. And then keeping your hands wide open, you're going to keep your elbows pinned into your sides. That's the most important part of this exercise, and slowly move your hands apart until you can feel resistance from the elastic and a taxation on the muscles in the back of your shoulder. A few key points when performing the 360. Keep your arms as straight as possible, and as you lift one arm up, you'll feel the elastic start to pull tight, and that will bring the other arm up with it. The pivot point on this is at the back of the neck, so as soon as the elastic goes behind your head and you can feel it on the nape of your neck, that's when you start to move your other arm. You can either do this continuously in one direction, or you can alternate and go in one way and then the other. In the upright row position, let the kettlebell hang in both hands at your waist, and as you lift it up, the most important thing is to bring the handle of the kettlebell to underneath your chin and keep your elbows as high as possible. This is a shoulder exercise, so the higher your elbows go, the more activation you will get in the shoulder muscles. The key when performing a bent over row is to keep a strong bend in your legs and keep your back straight so you're not taking the weight in your lower back. Push your chest forward, and as you bring the kettlebell up, you're bringing the handle to just below your rib cage and you're pinching your shoulder blades. I always like to think I'm trying to crack a walnut between my shoulder blades as I'm doing this, so you push your shoulders forward and you activate all the muscles in the upper back. The halo is pretty straightforward. You need to hold the kettlebell in front of your face and then you rotate it around your head. You can either go the same way several times, or you can alternate and go one way and then the other. But the most important thing is to keep the kettlebell close to your head as you circle it around and keep a good grip on it. When performing the ribbons, hold the kettlebell to one side, keep your body braced and strong, keep your legs bent slightly and your hips square, and then you're going to lift the kettlebell up, circle around the back side of your head, and then lower it down to the opposite side of your hip, so you're alternating naturally every time you do a repetition. Throws are very simple. It's much like throwing a football onto a football field. Hold the kettlebell in front of your chest nice and tight and lift it up and over your head, lowering it down as far as you can, as far as your shoulder flexibility will allow, and then lift it back over into the front of your chest, just like throwing a football over your head. When performing curls, it's important to be very, very strict with your posture on this one. A lot of people cheat and they use their body to lift the kettlebell instead of their biceps. So hold the kettlebell nice and tight in front of your chest, lower it down until your arms are fully extended and push your elbows forward, and then lift it back up. Figure eights are one of my favourite exercises for building stability and strength in the lower body. Hold the kettlebell hanging between your legs and circle it around one leg, passing it into the other hand and then back to the other. It should form a figure eight as it loops around both legs, but the most important thing is to keep a bend in your legs, keep a good strong squat position, and make sure your back's straight so all the work is being done by your arms. And you will feel this in your core and in your legs as the kettlebell moves around, and the momentum is what's challenging your core to stay strong. Uppercuts are a slightly more challenging exercise. Similar to the figure of eight, you need to circle around your leg and bring the kettlebell up, and as it swings up towards your face, catch it with your free hand and just slow it down, and then you can drop the kettlebell down through the legs and switch hands again to repeat on the other side.